episode 3 of To Death. We're going to do a take 2 on this one. Yeah, we recorded this whole episode last night.
Whole thing.
It was really funny. But we did actually not record it.
Yeah, it looks like we just streamed it and didn't do the thing where you can save the videos. Whoops-a-daisies. So we're going to try and do it again.
So, take 2 on this. So, we hope that this is going to work out this time.
We'll see.
Growing pains.
Yeah,
right?
We'll see. It's fine. All right, so what horrible story are we doing this time?
So, I think it was the last episode, you had talked about Bonnie and Clyde. We're a lot like, it sounded like the movie Natural Born Killers.
Yes.
So.
Yes, which is an awesome movie, by the way.
It's a great movie.
Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis is her name?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a great movie, but it's also just really disturbing and intense. So not a feel-good movie.
No, you need to take a shower after that one.
Yeah, and preferably not for people under 18.
Yeah, well, maybe 16 if, you're cool.
Yeah, it's kind of it's really a fucked up movie though.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Parents' discretion.
Yeah.
Parents' discretion.
So I decided to kind of look into that, and I actually found the real case that influenced the making of that movie.
So you're saying it wasn't Bonnie and Clyde?
It was not.
Okay.
No. So it was actually modeled after Charles Starkweather and Carol Ann Fugate.
Ah.
Ever heard of them? Which you kind of have because I told you this story last night, but
Sure.
So
it's fresh on my mind, I suppose, but I've never heard these names again, and
I know,
and they're still hard for me to remember. So
I'm kind of surprised this
Starkweather and Fugate.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised this case is not big.
What does Fugate remind me of?
I don't know. A fugue state?
No, maybe, yeah. What is it? It's something. It sounded familiar last time when we did this too, and I couldn't put my finger on. Oh, whatever.
I don't know. Maybe you know someone with that last name?
Maybe. It's like Frigate, which is a boat, which is a level on GoldenEye 007, the N64 game. It does sound like Fugue State. Anyways, continue.
So, we'll start off by talking about Mr. Charles Starkweather here. He was born in 1938. And he was born in Lincoln, Nebraska. He was the third of 7 children. His family was, a very middle-class family.
Which is not what the name sounds like. Starkweather.
It sounds very fancy.
Right, yes.
It just reminds me, it was a street name in my hometown. And that's what it reminds me
I
of.
bet you they had money and then they lost it.
You think so? Like, in their family history
Yeah,
somewhere?
they were shamed. They got shamed and had to do the naked walk of shame while people threw the fruits and stuff.
Oh, that would suck.
It explains probably why this person went downhill. I'm sure that's what happened.
I mean, I think there's other reasons he went downhill. His dad was a carpenter, his mom was a waitress, so they're just, kind of...
Is that why they went downhill? They
No,
had
not
respectable
that.
American jobs?
No, I was saying I think there's other reasons he went downhill and not him.
Not the parents.
Yeah, not the parents.
Gotcha.
So, when he was born with a mild birth defect called genu varum, which is literally he was bow-legged.
Okay.
Like I said, I didn't realize that was a birth defect. I thought it was just kind of the way people's legs were shaped.
I always thought it depended on how bad it was. I played football, high school football with a guy. I won't say his name, but he was relatively bow-legged, and he was a running back.
Yeah, I mean...
He wasn't a starting running back, but he could move.
I remember this girl I grew up with. She was an amazing gymnast. Like, the best I'd ever seen. I'm so surprised she never went to the Olympics or even tried.
Yeah.
But I remember her being bow-legged and actually thought it looked kind of cool.
Okay.
And I would try to stand like her because I thought her legs looked so cool.
All right.
So weird. I
hey,
have no idea why. But he was bow-legged. I mean, it could have been worse.
Trendsetters.
But he also had a really bad speech impediment growing up. And he was a really slow learner, had some learning disabilities.
Oh, no.
And he got made fun of really bad. He also had a severe form of myopia, which means he couldn't really see very well.
Good. I was going to again ask what that is because I totally forgot.
Yes.
Myopia. That's a certain type of vision loss.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know a lot about it.
Okay.
But he couldn't see very well, so this poor kid got made fun of a lot in school. And it kind of turned him into what he was. He got made fun of so much.
Yeah,
That he
but
kinda went
a lot
the
of kids get bullied in school.
That's very true.
Not all of
And
them
don't turn into murderers.
Yeah, so I don't know if that excuse flies.
No, it's definitely not an excuse, but more kind of explains his psyche a little bit, I guess.
We'll see.
So he found in middle school that he really excelled in gym, and he was really good at physical activities.
Okay, so the bow-leggedness had no negative impact.
No, he was a healthy
So, okay, that's
kid.
what I thought. Like I said, I played high school football with the guy, and he had bow-legged.
That's why I find it weird that they refer to it as a birth defect.
That is, I imagine it can be so bad where you have a hard time walking.
Yeah.
You might need like braces or something.
Maybe there's like, differing severities
Degrees,
of it.
severities. That's the word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. Good job.
So he got really good at physical activities, and he ended up getting a lot stronger, gained more confidence because of
Getting
that.
strong now. Rocky.
I've never seen Rocky.
You've never seen any Rocky movie?
No.
All right, I want to pause this and stop this now and go watch. How? What? Not a single one?
Not a single one.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Okay. What? Not. Hey. I don't like that at all. Anyways,
Look,
moving
I'm not
on.
opposed to it.
I can't focus now.
Oh, come on. You gotta focus
Fine.
here.
All right.
This is our second run here.
All
Come
right.
on.
Okay. I don't know if I can get over this. All right.
I mean, I'm open to watching them. Very much so. I just never have.
All right.
Same as I've never seen Karate Kid. Never seen that either.
And you still haven't seen Top Gun, have you?
No.
That's fine. That's more acceptable than any Rocky movie. No wonder you need help getting inspired sometimes. You've never seen Rocky.
I know, like, the songs from Rocky.
You need the whole emotional roller coaster that is a Rocky movie to be like, hell yeah, I can do this.
Okay, well, we'll go watch Rocky.
Yeah, we need a whole lot of 80s movies.
Yes.
Pump up, yes, kick ass,
I was-
America, fuck yeah movies.
I know what I was doing in the 80s. I was like a baby.
Well, I mean, I didn't watch it in the 80s. I watched it later
Oh.
on TV, like reformatted for TV.
Yeah, I was watching Melrose Place.
Ugh.
Beverly Hills 90210.
Boring.
Sorry. Oh, and I watched ER. back
ER?
then. ER.
Oh, the one with Clooney.
Yeah.
And the guy from Top Gun. But you wouldn't know that, would you?
No.
Dr.
wouldn't know that.
Green
Oh, okay.
is Goose from
All right.
Top Gun. Great Balls of Fire. He sang it very well. Played it on the piano. And then something else happens. I'm not going to spoil this 40-year-old movie.
Okay, thank you.
I still want to see the sequel, so we can't. Oh, all right. Anyways, back to murder.
Back to murder. So, with his newfound confidence and being really good at it doesn't say what specific sport. All I found was he was good at gym. So I
Okay.
don't know what that really means.
Okay.
Who knows what he was good
Just
at?
general.
Just general
fitness.
I guess.
Yeah, okay.
So he decided he was now going to be the bully.
Yeah.
So instead of being like, hey, I'm just going to help the little guys, I'll protect people from getting bullied, he was like, no, fuck that. I'm just going to start bullying people.
It's my turn to start smashing.
Yes. So that is what he did. He
Right.
was very mean. He started bullying other people. And then his whole life changed when he saw Rebel Without a Cause, which is a James Dean movie.
James Dean.
Never watched any of his movies.
Me neither.
Know what he looks like, but Charles Starkweather became really fixated on James Dean.
I know what he looks like because I watched a Bruce Lee movie, not even a real Bruce Lee movie, but the semi-documentary fake kind of Bruce Lee movie called Dragon. And Bruce Lee was apparently a James Dean fan, and there was a poster of him on his wall.
Ah.
After this guy in a boat was telling him how he can't, do anything because he's an Asian American. So, he said, the white man won't let you do anything. They're just going to put you over a mountain and blow you up.
Oh, wow.
He referring to the Chinese railroad construction people. But Bruce Lee's like, nah, I'm gonna do shit, and he put the James Dean poster on his window, or not on his window, on his wall. Sorry,
Okay.
from the window to the wall.
I'm not going to finish that.
Right,
but
yeah.
So he got really fixated on James Dean. He wanted to look just like him, so he got the whole look going,
Sure.
the hair, the leather jacket,
The whole like greaser.
Yeah. So that was his new look, and kind of he tried to like personify that too, right?
Sure. He started like putting like toothpicks in his mouth and like flipping
The
like
cigarette.
coins.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm assuming. I don't know. That's a major assumption on my part.
Of course, you got to have the lean against like the fence, right?
Oh yeah, so you can hold up the walls.
Hold up the walls.
Leaning.
I don't get. Is that a Big John, Little John reference?
Actually, when you said leaning, I was thinking about
No, they just lean against the fence and
Oh, okay.
and they just flick their little quarter and they,
Oh, okay. Now
they
I know
hassle
what you're
people
talking
walking
about.
by trying to like get them to like extort them for like loans or whatever, or like, hey kid, you need some money, and then they give them money, and then they come back wanting double the money, or they break their knees.
Oh wow.
Like mobster, like gangster shit, but like low key, lower stuff.
Yikes.
Yeah.
And when you said leaning, I was thinking Keith Morrison, because he always leans on stuff when he's doing Dateline.
All right. That's interesting too, but no, it wasn't like Keith Morrison. When you said leaning, I thought maybe you thought I meant like when people drink lean, like the cough syrup.
No, I didn't think
mix.
that.
I was like, is that what she thought I meant by leaning? And I was like, well, that's a leap, but no, you went Keith Morrison.
Yeah.
But no. Anyways.
Sorry. Back to it. I think we're avoiding this because it's terrible. We're avoiding talking about this whole thing. It gets really terrible.
I'm just having fun.
Yeah, same, but it does get terrible.
All right, well, continue.
So in 1956, Charles Starkweather, I just like totally butchered that name. Charles Starkweather was introduced to 13-year-old Carol Ann Fugate.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
He said he was 18, right?
He was 18, she was 13, which is such a terrible age gap. I hate it.
And I believe I mentioned, where the hell are the parents? Again, like, what kind of parents allow these things to happen? Like, no, it's okay. Like, if either set of parents.
That's true. But, it doesn't really say how her parents felt about it, really, or his. I mean, later in the story...
They should have felt enough about it where it wasn't a thing enough to be part of the history of the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is like the late 50s. I don't know.
I don't know if that was...
like, culturally, if that was, like, more accepted back then, or
This is the
what?
United States, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Nebraska.
know. Oh, never mind.
Why did Nebraska change that?
Well, I mean, come on. They've got good corn.
You're going to have to apologize to all our Nebraska listeners.
I think they know.
You think they know?
I think they know.
Okay.
Sorry, Nebraskans.
Sorry to our whole 0 Nebraskan person that listens.
They know.
They know. So
you're from a little town from the middle of nowhere. You know.
Yeah, but is like the whole state of Nebraska just a little town in the middle of nowhere?
Like you take where you're from and just scale it up to the size of Nebraska, and that's kind of what it is.
Well then, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Is what's going on in Nebraska? Anyways, continue, please.
No. So he drops out of high school.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he was 18. I guess he's probably at the end of it anyways.
Yeah.
I would assume. So he drops out.
May as well just finish at that point.
You would think so.
At 18, you've only got a few months.
I've seen so many people drop out their senior year. And I'm like, oh my God, you have like one semester left.
And
just
you got
do it.
And the easy classes.
Exactly. Ugh. Anyways, he drops out. And he gets employed, actually a pretty good job, working for the Western Union newspaper warehouse.
Well, there you go.
But the only reason he got that job was to be closer to Carol Ann's middle school, because
to the school.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so creepy.
It's so creepy. Like, who doesn't go get a job just to be close to their girlfriend's middle school?
Oh yeah, that's not a thing.
That should not be a phrase.
A sentence. Yeah, exactly.
Like, ugh. It just makes me feel.
Sorry to be laughing about this stuff, but I mean, what else do? You laugh or you cry, right?
It's really like an uncomfortable laughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like almost just the absurdity of man, kind of.
Yeah.
Thing, I suppose. Like, it's the what the fuck. It's a lot of
super what the
like
fuck.
What? Yeah. Anyways.
So he starts working there.
Yeah.
All the employees later on said that he was the dumbest person in their warehouse.
Okay.
Like, he just was not great at his job. You had to tell him things multiple times.
Right.
And I don't know, like, I feel
But you
bad
said
because
earlier
he
he
did
had
have a
learning-
learning disability.
Yeah.
Or maybe he was just apathetic about that job. Like, he just didn't
Didn't care.
I mean, who knows which one it was.
Maybe a little column A, little column B.
Yeah. So he ended up getting in a huge fight with his dad and had a falling out where they didn't speak anymore. And his dad actually made him move out because he was trying to teach Carol Ann how to drive.
Uh-huh.
And
The 13-year-old.
The 13-year-old. And she was driving his dad's 1959 Ford. And she wrecked it.
So, but which it wasn't a classic. That was like a brand new car that just came out, right? Where is that the year?
Yeah,
that we're in?
1956. This was a 1949. So, I mean, it was, you know.
You said 1949?
Yeah.
Okay.
1949
1949 Ford.
Mhm,
I believe
so-
you said 59.
Oh, did I?
I think
I'm
so.
Sorry.
That's a big difference.
1949.
That's a big difference in what kind of car it is.
1949.
Those 59s look dope. Those 49s? Nah.
Eh. I don't have any idea what one of those cars would look like.
Like the 50s style cars are all like long, like those cool ones with like the flared out like
Okay.
tail lights.
They're like huge like boats.
Yeah,
almost.
right.
Okay.
The big slab style. The 40s ones are more like Mickey Mouse box kind of style.
okay.
Not that bad, but more in that direction.
Well, he was not happy about his son's young girlfriend, wrecking his car. So
he shouldn't have been happy about the 13-year-old girlfriend.
you would think that that's what he would be mad about.
On the other hand, you said this guy had learning problems, speech impediments, and all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was just like, hey, at least some girl's better than no girl for my boy.
Yuck.
I don't know. Just saying. I'm just trying to figure it out.
I don't
I'm
think
just running.
he can.
I guess
I don't
not.
think he can figure it out.
Yeah.
It's gross regardless.
Yeah.
So Starkweather, after he gets kicked out of the house, he quits his really well-paying warehouse job and starts working for a garbage collection company.
So he
he's
quit.
a trash man.
He quit the warehouse.
Yes.
He didn't get fired despite being,
No,
like you said,
he
the
just
dumbest.
quit.
Okay.
And went on to work as a garbage
He must
collector.
have been charming then. Yeah, to keep a job and not be very good at it and be the one who quits instead of getting fired.
Exactly.
Maybe they just have a really high turnover and they'll just keep whoever stays around. I have so many questions.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I should have gone really more in depth
Way
into
in
his
depth, yeah.
job prospects.
Yeah, you should have like gotten a time machine and taken notes.
And also, like, those people that said he was really dumb, they were interviewing them after
All
everything
the things.
unfolded with this case. So
So
who
maybe
knows
they were
what was
trying
really
to
going
like
on.
distance themselves.
They're like, oh,
I
he
don't
was
know.
dumb. Like, we didn't even like him.
Yeah,
He
wasn't
doesn't go here.
Yeah,
That was a Mean Girls reference if anybody got that. I don't know.
he was my brother's friend.
So he actually got that job as a garbage collector to begin plotting bank robberies. So, which he never, as far as I'm aware, he never robbed any banks.
Wait, so he left the warehouse job to
Mm-hmm.
get a garbage man job so he could spend time plotting bank robberies.
Yeah,
Why
because
couldn't
he would watch the route.
Oh,
And he
I
would
see.
watch the daily goings on of like
I
all the
see.
businesses, the
Okay.
homes, the whole area.
I got you. I was about to say why couldn't he have just done that, but at the warehouse? But that makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
and a weird little bit of I don't know, not trivia, but like a fact that's kind of cool
Uh-huh.
is his garbage collection route was actually one of the houses on his route was Dick Cabot's house.
Ah, the old Dick Cabot,
So he was like basically the
which
first
is
like
for those who are still alive and don't know who he is, because you have to be old enough to be dead to know who this person is. He's an old TV late night host guy.
he was like Johnny Carson before Johnny Carson.
Right. And again, I'll say the same thing for those who don't know who Johnny Carson is because they're alive
true.
because
Yeah.
they're not dead old enough to be dead enough to know who that is. It's kind of like Jay Leno or who's the other one? Conan or Letterman, right?
Letterman, yeah.
Those guys. Or who are the
Yeah.
new people?
Oh God.
Jimmy
are they?
Fallon. from
The guy that everyone says that he was like stealing people's jokes. The
Oh.
kind of like chubby guy.
Carlos Mencia?
No,
He has a Tonight Show?
Not that guy. James Corden.
Oh, James Corden, the British guy. Yeah. Okay, I got you. Right, yeah.
So,
anyways, those people.
Yeah, those people. So, and we only really know who Dick Cavett is because we were like one late night, we're just randomly searching
I Love Lucy, right?
Well, I think we were like originally searching Betty White interviews.
Oh, did she just die or something? So
yeah, I think we were getting all emotional. Like we wanted to watch Betty White interview.
Little Betty White nostalgia going on.
Yeah, we wanted to see her like when she was really young and kind of, we went down that rabbit hole.
Right.
Well, we found a interview where Betty White and Lucille Ball were on the Dick Cavett show, and it was really cool to watch them together because they were actually apparently friends. Didn't know that.
That's awesome.
They're literally like two of my biggest like idols. I love both of them.
Yeah, they're great.
And to see them
being cool
together, like on the stage, it would make me be like, God, I wish I was alive back then.
Right.
Like that sucks.
Yeah. At least we found that video footage.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So that's how we know who Dick Cavett is.
Yeah.
If I had never seen
and then we just
that.
kept watching it, just to be like, this is weird. Old 1960s TV is weird feeling.
Very weird.
It's a very different vibe.
Like they were all smoking cigarettes. Like it was just.
Plus, it's also weird knowing that they're all dead.
Yeah, that was.
Like these were all people that were alive and quite healthy and probably around our age and doing their thing, and now they're all in the ground.
Quite healthy, except for the cartons of cigarettes they were slamming.
They all lived in '90 somehow. Those people were tougher back then. That's what they say about themselves.
I mean.
But now they're all dead.
They're
not all, because my grandma was one of them. She's still alive. She's 96 years old. But she quit smoking...
really early?
Yeah, really early, back in the 30s.
Okay. Yeah, back in the... Good God. Back in the 30s.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Because think about it right now. We're in 2023. We're about to be in 2030. Like, not too terribly long from now. 1930 was so long ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So we're back. He's doing the garbage collecting thing. Well, this is where it starts getting really bad. So, November 1957, Starkweather, he goes into this gas station in Lincoln, and he wanted to purchase a stuffed dog toy for Carol on credit.
Okay.
I don't know why he's buying her a dog toy. Maybe it was cute. I don't know.
A dog toy, a little stuffed dog toy from a gas station.
For a 13-year-old.
For a 13-year-old on a credit card.
Not a credit card, on credit, like store credit.
Oh,
he wanted to like do
I gotcha.
I'll come back and pay you, whenever.
I got it. Okay, that makes sense.
So, the store clerk, his name was, let me see.
They had credit charge cards, I believe they eventually were called back then.
Yeah, no, I don't know if they had that back then.
If they did, they had to put them in those machines where they had to do
like
the chink,
the ink.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my mom had one of those in her office at this place she worked when I was a kid.
Okay, yeah.
And because she had to do
I
transactions
I don't remember ever seeing one.
It was so crazy looking, but I used to like take like old cards that she wasn't using anymore and like do all the little like.
It's nice that your mom let you play with other people's credit cards.
No, it was like an old credit card of hers that she didn't use anymore.
See.
It was like expired, and she let me do it because it was so cool, like the ink and everything. Oh, I loved it.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I would love to. It looks like it would be really satisfying to do it.
It was
the chink chink thing.
And she had like
it looks like it feels good.
She had like a typewriter in her office, I think.
Oh yeah.
And I loved pushing the keys. I wouldn't even type anything. I just loved that sound.
Yeah.
And it was like a fancy one because you didn't have to like push the thing back. It was like automatic.
Well, for your sanity is the reason I don't have one of those mechanical keyboards that simulate that feel, because they also sound like that, and everyone in the house might get annoyed.
It would sound like those like old like
newspaper
offices, like where everyone's
yeah.
typing you see in movies.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, if I still smoke cigarettes, that'd be great. And just have like the smoke constantly going. Wear one of those visor hats for some reason. I feel like that goes with it.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Oh yeah, that actually, now that you say that, you just kind of described Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking.
That's
yeah.
I was like, you're describing someone I know very well. That would be Hunter.
Yes, you're right.
And rest in peace, Hunter Thompson. Hunter S.
R.I.P.
Thompson. He was great. So Robert Culver was the station
He knew
attendant.
who Dick Cavett was.
Oh yeah, he knew who Dick Cavett was.
That's why he's dead.
That's why he's dead. And he lived a hard life. I'm
Yeah.
surprised that guy survived as long as he did. So Robert, he actually committed suicide. So that's kind of a.
Did he?
He unalived himself. Yeah. So
he was probably like terminal though or something.
I think he.
Or like they told him he had like brain.
I think he had
problems or-
something wrong with him, and he just
Said-
took it upon himself
Yeah.
to
That's. I mean.
choose when he went, which
Yeah.
is, what can you say?
Look, yeah. I don't know if I can say anything too negative about that.
No, I can't either. So Robert Colbert was the station attendant. So he refused to accept this. He did not want to do this purchase on credit, and he told Charles no. Well, Charles didn't like to be told no.
Yeah.
So he started brooding. He left, and he got really pissed off the more he thought about it. So he turns around, comes back.
How dare he not give me a stuffed animal
For my girlfriend.
that I swear I'm going to eventually come back and pay for.
Right.
Come on, bro.
So he comes back with a 12 gauge shotgun.
Jesus.
And so this was like a day later he comes back with this.
Okay.
So next day he comes back with the shotgun. So he goes in to the store and leaves the gun in the car on accident. So already he's like,
Wait. So so the next day he comes in there ready to shoot the place up or hold the guy at least
Yeah.
at gunpoint, and he just walks in all tough, ready to do it Terminator style, and he's like, "Oh, where's my gun?
yeah, he forgot
No
the
gun."
gun.
So where's this Twinkies?
he basically walked around like kind of like lost looking and ended up just buying cigarettes
Exactly.
and walked out. So then he drove down the road.
Wait, so he can buy the cigarettes, but he won't buy a little stuffed toy, which is probably
don't get
25
it.
cents back then?
Who knows? I
Come
don't know
on.
what's wrong
Where-
with this guy. So he
What are the answers?
he walks out and he's like,
I want the hard answers.
"You're gonna have to ask this guy," which you can't because he got electrocuted.
All right.
So he
He got
leaves the
electrocuted?
store.
Like
Electric chair.
But, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, that is
got the electric
electrocuted.
chair.
Yeah. I just pictured him like.
No, he got the
Well, electrocuting,
full,
like, himself on,
Green
like, some-
Mile electric chair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he leaves the store, gets in his car, starts to drive away.
Did we talk about the Green Mile on an episode? Or was
we
it-
talked about it on the last episode?
Where it got deleted one or the one?
No, I think it was like
Okay. So okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we don't need to talk about the Green Mile.
yeah. So he leaves and he's gonna drive away, and then he's like, "No, I'm coming back." So he went back and he's like, "I'm doing this." So he goes in with the weapon, but then chickens out again and begins to leave again. Buys a pack of gum, and then he gets in the parking lot and he's like, "No, I'm doing this. I'm doing this." So he walks in. He holds Mr. Colbert at gunpoint and steals $100 from the register.
So Mr. Colbert, that's the store owner.
Yeah,
Right? Okay.
Robert Colbert.
Yeah.
So he takes him hostage after this, though. He forces him into his car.
Don't go to the second location, right?
Never go to a second location.
Does that
That's
ever
what-
work out in these stories?
I really don't think so. I mean, I've heard some like I survived stories
Yeah.
where it does.
Well, that's where they
depends.
like escape or something, like right?
Or survived like their injuries somehow.
Oh, okay, yeah. But like I don't. Do they ever actually be like ever let go?
No, not
Yeah.
usually.
Yeah.
Paul Holes says
No, Paul Holes again is like he's an actual like detective.
he's retired now, but he is the one who basically cracked the case of the Golden State Killer.
He was an actual like cop.
He was a CSI forensics, and then he turned into a detective.
Gotcha.
So he says, never let them take you to a second location. Like, if anyone ever tries to grab you and force you somewhere, you do everything you physically can. He said, you're more likely to survive whatever they're going to do to you there than if you get in the car and go to a second location, you're for sure dead.
Oh yeah, I would if somebody tried to put me in the car with at gunpoint, I'm gonna do exactly what I told my kids to do: scream and run away with your arms flailing.
Mm-hmm. Like he said, do everything you can. Bark, make weird noises, act possessed, like anything you have to do, throw up, pee yourself, like
See,
anything.
the latter stuff probably will work. Barking, I don't know if I could do. Listen, if somebody was barking at me, I'd be like, this person's faking crazy. They're faking crazy. But if they start like peeing themselves or worse or whatever, I'm gonna go. I can't handle this.
You're
This
gonna
is
be
not
like,
what
"Ew,
I.
gross."
This is not what I wanted.
Because that's what Paul Holes was saying. He said most of the time,
Theoretically.
perpetrators who are going to like take you they want a passive victim.
Of course.
They want a victim that is not going to make a scene, that's going to be quiet and just go. And this is not victim blaming at all, like people who get kidnapped.
Of course not. I mean,
like,
you're scared.
Who the heck knows how you're going to react when you're in that situation?
Generally, you're probably going to do whatever the person with the weapon is telling you.
Yeah,
generally,
you're terrified.
Because you don't want to be shot in the face.
But now that you know that, don't let them take you. Do everything you can to get away.
But it's a hard choice if you have a gun right at your face.
And I've never been in that situation, so I have no idea how I'd react.
I'd say if you're at least 6 feet away, that makes it a lot easier of a choice.
Yeah. Ugh, I don't know. I'm never in that situation.
Me too. Not a great situation to be in.
No. So he forces Culvert back into his car, takes off. Well, Robert Culvert starts fighting. And him and Starkweather struggle. He attempts to get away. Robert shoots him in the kneecaps and then proceeds to shoot him in the head.
God, it's so brutal, the kneecaps.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, it's not quite the dick, but the kneecaps.
Ugh.
Like, you know when you're like just walking around the corner and you bang your kneecap like on the corner of the table or something? It is just unbelievable, stinging, searing pain
Ugh.
that goes right to your core.
Yeah.
Now you got a bullet that just cracked that baby.
Yuck.
Ugh. Good God.
So Charles Starkweather
Jesus
has
Christ,
officially.
That sounds so awful.
I know,
like,
it sounds terrible.
Please, yeah, like the shot to the head may not be the worst decision. On the other hand, you know, you'll probably eventually get your knees fixed up to some degree. You could probably be in a wheelchair or something, but you'll be alive.
You would, but he shot him in the head.
Then he shot, yeah.
So,
but I'm feeling what I'm saying is like at the moment, I'm sure he probably wasn't not cool with that decision. He probably wanted to be shot in the head with his knees feeling the way they were.
Ugh, I can't imagine.
I can't even imagine.
That
I'd be
poor
like, please
guy.
shoot me in the head.
And all because he wouldn't sell this guy a dog
not
toy.
even sell it. He would have sold it to him, no problem.
Oh, yeah,
he wouldn't basically give it to him.
He wouldn't give it to him.
with the promise of eventual sale.
And this guy's ego was just out of this world. So.
Me?
Right.
He doesn't trust me, the great honorable me.
This guy is a dick. So, first murder.
Yeah.
And instead of being like, oh, I never want to do that again, that was terrible. No, it empowered him and it made him feel like a sense of euphoria.
That's
peace,
right. This is about the movie. They based a movie on this.
Yes,
that's what it reminded me of.
Natural Born Killers.
Yeah.
So, in this article, I thought they phrased it really well, so I'm just going to read it. It said he had money, he had a girl, he had killed and not been bothered by it. It gave him an enormous feeling of power. He now operated outside the laws of man.
I'm the king of the world!
Exactly.
Yeah.
He felt as if he were invincible, could do just as he pleased, take what he wanted. The law was helpless against him.
Oh, yeah.
So...
Johnny Law
Yikes.
can't do nothing against me.
So he basically had these just huge ideas of grandeur. Like,
Sure.
He thought he was untouchable.
Right.
So
what happens next?
so what happens? Nothing great.
Right.
So this is where it all starts happening.
Okay.
So 1958, January, Charles decides to go to Carol's home.
Charles in charge.
Charles in charge.
He's now.
Oof.
That's who he is now. He's upgraded.
Yikes. So he goes to Carol's home and she's not home, right? He has a huge argument with her
So he went to
parents.
like the parents' house.
Yeah, her parents'
Right.
house.
Okay.
He went to go
she's
see
13,
her.
and she's clearly not like living with this guy. She's still with mommy and daddy.
Right.
As a 13-year-old girl.
So this was 2 years later after they met, so she was
15,
15 at this point.
Right.
And he was 20. So still not great. Still not a good age
Well,
gap.
yes, right. Correct.
He was 18.
Yeah, my math brain broke. I make video games.
My math is no good.
Yeah.
So he goes to her house. She's not there. Well, he gets in a huge argument with her mom and her stepdad. And
As one would expect.
yeah, they basically say, stay away from her.
There
can't
you
see
go.
her anymore.
Finally,
This
delayed
is-
reaction.
I know.
Lag.
This is not going to happen. To be fair to them, though, we don't know that they hadn't been trying to do something all along.
I suppose, but very unsuccessfully, and I would have to say fail.
Yeah. So,
I don't know the details, though. There might be a reason, an explanation, but probably not.
I don't know. Well, they tried this time, and
Yeah.
this time did not end well.
Yeah.
So he ends up going in and shooting both of them.
Right.
Both the mom and the stepdad. And this is going to get terrible, so I'm really sorry. She happened to have a 2-year-old little sister named Betty.
No, it was a boy. He dressed like Gene Simmons from Kiss. I saw the movie.
Yeah, the movie took a lot of creative liberties with this scene, because in the movie you kind of like root for the dad to get killed. You're like,
and yes,
yeah, Juliette Lewis's dad needs to die,
right, yeah.
for sure.
And they let the boy go.
Yeah,
in the
you're
movie.
right.
Yeah.
They did.
She's like, "You're free now, Billy," or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the parents.
The mom gets burned alive, I think.
Yeah, the dad. Oof.
Yeah,
Rodney Dangerfield was just terrible.
He gets hit in the head with something and put in a fish tank, and I forget. I forget all what happened. Yeah. Oh my God, he played that so well, though.
He did.
Like, so. That's the part of the movie that makes you most really feel like you need to take a shower.
Yeah, he was disgusting.
They did Rodney Dangerfield dirty in that. I mean, he was down with it, obviously. He's the actor. But, he had the whole... It was bad. Just go watch it if you're into, like, fucked up shit.
Yeah, but they took a lot of creative liberties to make it entertaining.
All right, so what actually happened?
So, he kills her parents.
They
have a 2-year-old little girl in the house named Betty Jean.
A 2-year-old.
2-year-old, and he strangled and stabbed her.
Why?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
You could have just left her. But
I mean, that to a 2-year-old, that's also kind of a death sentence.
Yeah, it is, but like...
But better than strangling and... Jesus Christ.
It's all bad. So when Carol gets home, he tells her about everything that happens, and she goes to the police. Mm-hmm. No, she doesn't. Because that's where this would have stopped if that's what would have happened.
Right. Because, you would expect this guy just murdered my family, including my 2-year-old, well, you said half-sister still, right?
Yeah, but still, I mean, her 2-year-old sister.
Right.
Like...
I think you said, when we first did this, you mentioned it was a half-sister.
Yeah.
So I wanted to...
I mean, I think it was her half-sister because it was her stepdad's.
Okay. So was that her stepdad that got killed then? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Her stepfather and mom.
Gotcha.
So she gets home, doesn't go to the police, and who's to say, she claims that she was really scared, which
that could be true.
That's plausible. I mean, that's pretty terrifying. And she thought,
your 2-year-old sister get strangled and stabbed. It's not a stretch that it could happen to you too, I suppose.
Right. So she ends up helping him hide the bodies. They hide the bodies in a porta potty that's outside and in a chicken coop. Yeah, I guess there's a porta potty in their backyard. Well, in my head, I'm thinking they have a lot of land. Like this was.
So you mean like an outhouse?
An outhouse.
Okay, not like a plastic porta potty that you go to at a concert.
That might have been a bad word. Yeah, like an outhouse.
Because porta potty means I think it means it's portable.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay, like an outhouse.
Right, so like with the little moon cut out of the door. Right, yeah.
So that's where they hide the bodies.
That's where they hide this 13-year-old or 15-year-old girl's dead family.
Yeah, and in a chicken
outhouse
coop.
And a chicken coop.
Yes.
Including a 2-year-old.
Yes.
My brain honestly won't even visualize it.
I know.
It can't even. It's like just turning like a black fog. Like it can't even picture it. I'm usually fairly imaginative. It's not letting that image form.
I don't even want to think about it.
Probably for good reason. Yeah.
So after they hide the bodies, they proceed to just live there for like a week.
In the
house.
In the house. Okay, not in the chicken coop.
No, not the chicken coop. They just had a grand old time. They played house. They,
woke up, did the dishes, cooked something in the oven,
were just
and
hanging out.
Read the morning paper. And
in this crime scene where they had just murdered her whole family,
rotting out back.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people became really suspicious because they kept coming to the house, but
smelling rotting bodies.
I don't know if they would have had to, right?
Right.
So
remember that little rat?
Oh yeah.
That got stuck that one time. That was unbearable.
To be fair, that was inside of our house. This was outside, so maybe they couldn't smell it.
That's true. But this is an old house. I don't know. Maybe they built the houses better. I'm just wondering what is happening? How does this keep happening?
So Carol,
why is it so easy to kill people and hide them?
It shouldn't be. But
or kidnap them. That's horrible.
I mean, yeah, it's terrible. So Carol puts a sign on the door that says, "Stay away, everybody is sick with the flu."
Oh, so that's all you need. You need a
Yeah.
flu sign. I guess nowadays you just put up a COVID sign.
We all have COVID, stay
I'll
away.
have COVID, and people are like, all right.
I ain't even gonna mess with you.
Damn it, we're giving people too good of murder advice.
Yeah, don't
do any of this.
don't do any of this. We do not recommend.
Murder is bad.
Yeah.
People prefer to be alive generally.
Yeah, and you do not have the authority to take away anybody's life.
That's right.
That's terrible.
Let's say unless they ask, but that's a whole hot button issue with the Kevorkian thing.
Which Kevorkian was actually like a very well respected doctor. And
Sure,
a lot of good.
I get that's the whole thing. Like that's why it's a hot button issue. Is like no one's saying like he was like a psycho murderer. He was just
I
fulfilling
feel
the wishes of terminally ill patients.
Yeah.
That I mean whatever.
So her Carol's grandmother became really suspicious of this whole thing, like not being able. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Yeah, Parks and Rec or TikTok, whichever one you want to think that came from. It's Parks and Rec.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's where it came from, but it got really popular on TikTok.
I see. Okay, I don't even know anymore. I don't do TikTok.
The Raffios, is that how you say it?
Oh yeah, the Jean Raffio and his sister, the worst.
The worst. She's the
worst. Yeah.
So
yeah.
her
Anyways.
grandma became suspicious that she couldn't get a hold of any of the family, hadn't seen them.
Yeah.
So she called the cops.
Good.
Cops
This is the grandma.
Mm-hmm, the
grandma. 15-year-old girl's grandma.
Yes.
Okay.
So the cops came on January 27th. So yeah, like 6 days after the murders, and basically they didn't find anything. And Starkweather and Charles and Carol fled. They bounced.
Okay.
Because they were like on the run now.
Sure.
Well, at this point the cops pretty much put out an alert to be on the lookout for them because this whole family's missing.
Right.
They don't know if
They haven't
Carol's
found-
a part of it or not like a hostage, but they're on the search for Charles Starkweather.
So they still haven't found the bodies yet.
They did when they came to the house.
Oh, when they came to the house. Okay.
Yeah, they did. So they're on the run now.
Nice.
And they go to a friend of the family of Charles, a 72-year-old named August Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
This was in Bennett, Nebraska. I'm not really sure.
Wait. Charles has a 72-year-old friend?
It was a family friend.
Okay, I see. All right.
So he goes to their house, and you would think, oh, family friend, great. No, Charles kills him with a shotgun to the head.
Okay.
He just wanted his house, basically, to hide out in.
And this is not like, what was his name? Buck Wild, who could withstand multiple gunshots to the head?
Mr. Buck, no. If you haven't listened to our Bonnie and Clyde episode, go listen to that.
Oh, that was the Bonnie Clyde one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this guy.
That's crazy.
This guy gets shot in the head and literally survives
Survives.
for like 2 days with a big hole in his brain leaking out of his head. It's so crazy.
And then doesn't he get shot again in the head? And then he still lives.
He still lives and then dies at the hospital from pneumonia.
It is
Oh my God.
unbelievable.
That guy is like he just would not die. He refused. He was like, not today.
It reminds me of something funny, but I can't put my finger on it. If anybody's watching this, what is that from? Where they just keep trying to kill this person and they won't die, and it's like a whole comedy bit. I'm sure it's in a few movies or whatever, but there's one I'm thinking of, and is it Austin Powers or I don't know.
I have no idea.
Anyways, continue.
So, that's their second murder, right?
All right, so they're on number
actually,
two.
not second. That's 1, 2, 3. That's their fifth murder.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Well, yeah, because they've got the clerk
guy.
guy. They have three.
3. So, 4. So that's
Yes.
4.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So it's her fourth murder. Kills this poor guy for his house. And then they don't even stay there long. Flee, take his car, right?
So this is the fifth.
Yeah, fourth.
No, it would be the fifth because the clerk
you're
guy.
right, fifth, yeah.
Because then you have mom, dad, baby, or infant, or whatever you call her, toddler, and now you've got this guy.
So fifth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So this is our fifth murder. Poor guy,
Racking them up.
So they leave and their car gets stuck in the mud out in the middle of nowhere, basically. So they abandon the vehicle and decide to start walking.
Okay, so they didn't bail because they thought they should maybe switch up vehicles. They just got stuck in the mud.
They got stuck in the mud.
And just left their car there.
Just left their car there, and they started walking.
Hmm.
Well, along the way, these two teenagers that were local to the area, Robert Jensen and Carol King, were driving, and they stopped to give them a ride because they were being nice.
So these teenagers just roll up, see people's walking on the side of the road, like, hey, you guys need a ride?
Yeah, basically, they were trying to be nice. And if you think about it, Carol and Charles weren't that old either.
Right.
So they probably saw a young couple walking. They're like,
hey guys, we can go to the latest hot teen bop event.
Yes, that's exactly what they said.
I don't know what it is. What is it? It's the late 50s still?
Yeah, late 50s.
That's Elvis, right?
Oh, is it?
I think.
Yeah.
Right? Or is that more early 60s?
I'm really bad with timelines. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Once the 50s start, things get gray.
Yeah. I don't know anything like
You might want to finish that sentence.
Yeah, I don't know anything before 88.
Oh wow, okay, all right, that's fair. I go at least another couple decades earlier than that, but it stops about there.
That's all a little fuzzy to me.
Yeah, well, I like the early Pink Floyd and Hendrix and the Doors and stuff, and that kind of goes into the '60s, mid to late '60s.
And I do love I Love Lucy, so
and that
was.
That was
50s?
late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. I don't know. Nick at Night stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever Nick at Night era is. Dick Van Dyke and the Witch one, Bewitched.
Oh, Bewitched.
I Dream of Jeannie. Yeah, all those shows.
Right.
Whenever that stuff was happening. Is that one that was America Great Again? Was it Dick Van Dyke?
I mean, it was great for a certain
group of people.
Yeah,
of
people. When
trying to figure out this golden era that everyone keeps dreaming of.
There wasn't
but
one. Spoiler alert, there was never a golden era.
Yeah.
We always like to romanticize the past.
I guess. I was about to say those shows made everything look real nice. But you're right. That's from a very fixed perspective.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get one perspective. They don't show you anything else that's happening.
Right, yeah.
As well as I think the 70s were like...
And also, talking about I Love Lucy, the government was coming after her for being a suspected
Red Scare,
communist.
Yeah. They thought she was a communist. Yeah.
So things weren't so good behind the scenes.
No. They always like to paint a pretty
And later
picture.
she made Star Trek.
She did.
Which is not exactly.
It.
She helped it get along. She supplied the studio, I believe it was.
Yeah, and she's the one who revived it. She said, right?
I think something like that. Yeah.
She gave them
They did the pilot, and then it didn't take off, and then she helped somehow. But all I really remember is the fact that she supplied the studio.
Yeah.
The recording.
Desilu Productions.
Yeah.
Good for Lucy. She was awesome.
Good for Lucy.
She's great.
Good for America for that, and then bad for the Red Scare, I guess.
Yeah.
What was that guy? McCarthy? Was it?
The McCarthy era?
I
know that from history class. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
We did school.
We did school. A little bit, yeah. So these two teenagers pick them up, right? Mm-hmm. Are going to give them a ride. Starkweather, Charles and Carol pull a gun on them and force them to drive to an abandoned storm shelter. And while they're there, they kill both of them.
Jesus, so mid-ride, they're pull a gun on them.
This
and
is a stick-up, basically.
Yeah.
Force them to drive to this abandoned storm shelter where they proceed to shoot both of them.
Yeah.
And they actually mutilated Carol King's body. She was stabbed multiple times in her private areas.
Jesus Christ.
Later on, Charles says that Carol was the one who did that to her because she was jealous because Carol was prettier than her. And she felt jealous about that.
She was jealous that Carol was pretty, or she was prettier than Carol?
She was jealous because Carol King was a really pretty girl.
Oh, Carol King is who's the name of the main person we're talking about? The Fugate?
Carol.
So there's two Carols.
Yeah.
There's Carol King and Carol.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spelled differently, but yes,
well, we
they're
need
both
to
Carol.
specify.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Carol King, the victim.
Gotcha.
Here.
Carol King, the victim, was prettier than
Carol
Fugate, the murdered
And she
girl.
was apparently jealous of that, so after she was already dead, she stabbed her multiple times in her private areas.
Jesus Christ. Well, at least she waited till she was dead, I guess. That's...
I mean, I'm assuming that's
I don't know.
proven by her autopsy, I would assume, but yikes. Anyway, so
indeed.
Those are their 6th and 7th murder. Great.
Racking them up.
Yep. So they take off, and they're trying to figure out where to go, right? Well, Charles having that job as the trash collector,
Yeah.
you know, he had scoped out some neighborhoods.
A trash collector? Like he's going around like the people who collect trash?
Trash man. He was the
Like
trash
he's garbage. Like, okay.
Yeah, garbage
okay.
man.
Just when you say trash collector, I picture the people who like go through people's garbage like and then like resell it.
Fair enough.
I think those guys are trash collectors.
Right.
Or you,
the garbage.
Electronics. They got electronics when they find electronics. That's right. That's something always funny. When Charlie and Frank are out in the alleyway sorting through the trash.
That's right.
Electrics. That's what it is.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's a great show.
Yes. Anyways, sorry. This isn't Titans of Time cast where we talk about Always Sunny the whole
all
time.
the time.
Yeah. This is your thing. Continue.
Right. So he had scoped out this house of this industrialist, this really well-to-do couple named C. Lauer and Claire Ward. So
that's where they made their mistake.
Yes, because they killed rich people.
Rich people get you in trouble.
Yes, and these people were like high society. They were friends with the governor.
Oh.
Like they were
Rich people.
Rich people and very influential people.
They had monocles.
Yeah, yes, they had monocles.
Yeah, that's a huge mistake. This person got way too cocky.
He did. So he goes in.
Never kill a guy with a monocle.
Never.
They will disappear you.
Yes. So C. Lauer is the guy. He was not home at the time that Charles and Carol showed up.
Mm-hmm.
So they go in this house. They take these two people hostage, which is the woman. What was her name?
I don't know. You're supposed to tell us.
Claire Ward.
Okay.
So they take Claire Ward and her maid Lillian Fency.
Clara?
Mm-hmm, Clara.
Okay.
So they take Clara and their maid Lillian hostage. And basically...
Like hostage in their own home?
In their own home. They say, like, look, if you're cool with us, we're not going to hurt you. You know, just let us stay here. Let us hide out here. Don't say anything.
Right.
I was reading in this article. In this article, it's talking about how Charles makes Clara make him pancakes.
Really?
Yes. She makes him pancakes. She brings him the pancakes, and he's like, I changed my mind. I want waffles. So she has to go.
God.
She's trying to be
this
very
guy sucks.
like, he really sucks. He's terrible. So she brings him back waffles.
Aside from all the 7 murders now, this now is the tipping point.
Yeah, he's being a dick.
Yeah, I don't like him anymore.
And later on, he would say he really took pride in making her do that because this really rich person was now waiting on him.
Okay, so he was making the rich person do it. I was picturing the maid.
Oh no, he didn't make the maid do it. This was Carol. I mean Clara. Sorry. Clara.
Feelings are changing slightly, because I kind of get it, but it's not like she wasn't paying the maid.
Yeah, and she could have been a super nice rich person. You never know.
I haven't met one. I'm joking.
I mean, I'm sure these people were great.
I don't actually know if I have.
And
unless they want to fund us, then I'm sure you're very nice.
All right. So, they ended up killing both Clara and the maid after all this time. Okay. They took naps, they ate their food, and they killed them both.
Didn't really teach this person much of a lesson then.
No.
Not a long one.
No. So, he stabbed both of them. And then they just hung out at the house some more. Well, when C. Lauer, the man, got home, they fatally stabbed him too.
Wow.
Yikes.
This is the husband.
The husband. Like
he gets monocle
home.
Guy.
The monocle guy. He gets home that night.
The monocle guy's wife, you could probably get away with that. Monocle guy will get a new wife. But the monocle guy himself? Hell no.
I mean, he wiped out this whole little household.
Yeah.
Guy, the man, the wife, and the maid.
And the maid. I'm just saying.
Ugh.
The cops probably would have let the wife and the maid go.
I don't know. Because, like...
Well, the monocle man's the one who's cutting the checks to the government.
Yeah, but, like, he probably would have taken that personally and been like, I'm going to find the son of a bitch who did this.
Or he'd been like, I have an excuse to get a new wife now.
No.
We don't know the character of this guy.
We don't.
I can imagine any backstory I want.
The best. Okay. Okay, you can do that.
I'm sure he was a very nice guy.
So Carol and Charles steal all their like super expensive jewelry, right?
Mm-hmm.
They get in his car and they flee
So
to
they kill them all and then rob the place.
rob the place, then bounce. They're gone.
Okay.
So these murders cause like a huge uproar in Lannister County, as expected.
Of course,
This, like,
you just
super
killed the
prominent-
Monopoly guy.
Yeah, the super prominent family just gets wiped out,
Yeah.
and they are not happy. So
Right.
they get the National Guard on this.
Yeah.
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 So now it's like
Tanks and
big time.
helicopters are coming after you now.
They actually went like block by block and were just searching for anything like out of the ordinary, trying to figure out what happened.
These are like the World War II people, military style people
Yeah.
too. They ain't gonna mess
They are
around.
not messing. So these people are
They ain't playing
wanted
hacky
now.
sack in the desert. These people are gonna shoot you in the face
Right. Ugh. So they are
after going after the Nazis.
they are really on the run now.
Yeah.
So I mean, they killed the wrong people. I'm not saying any people are the right people, but
Right.
now
The
they're
wrong
like,
people if your agenda is to get away with it
right.
easily.
Get away with murder.
Murder.
We had to bring that in.
Yes.
That's from Frasier. Great show.
I wanted to take credit for it.
Murder.
Murder.
So-
it was Niles. Niles is a genius.
Niles
Well,
is a genius.
David Hyde Pierce, rather, is a genius.
Yes, he plays that role
So well. So good. I like him better than Frasier, honestly. And most scenes, Niles kills me.
Right.
I
He's
love-
so
so
great.
funny.
His comedic timing is that one scene where he's like, no one wants to come to my party.
Right,
It's
after he's
so good.
Acting like it's not a big deal.
It had me in tears.
He's funny with
My
that.
daughter thought I was insane because I was just laughing so hard. I was crying at that scene.
Oh, it's so good. Watch Frasier, folks.
Please do. You will not be disappointed.
not.
You don't even have to watch Cheers. I mean, Cheers
I'd recommend against it.
Yeah.
Frasier's character in Cheers is relatively boring, at least the seasons we've
but
seen.
to be fair, we didn't get to the end where I'm sure his character kind of picks up.
We'll see. We'll check it out. We'll give him a chance in that. But him and his own show is a whole different thing. It's amazing.
Oh, it's so good. I love it.
And
And
Eddie.
Eddie, come on.
Jinx.
Oh, Jinx. Eddie is the best. So, okay, they're on the run now.
Yeah.
Well, once they kind of catch wind that they're basically the most wanted couple out there at that moment, they decide to ditch that car. Because they're like, we can't be driving around in this car. They're going to find us, right?
Right.
They ditch it. Well, this poor guy, his name is Merrill Collision. He's just sleeping in his car. He's a traveling salesman, taking a sleep.
His name's Merrill
His
Collision.
name is Merrill Collision. That's a great
And he doesn't.
name.
Is he selling car insurance?
I hope so. If he's not, he missed out on a very good business venture.
Right.
So this poor guy's just sleeping in his car along the highway in Douglas, Wyoming. So they fled Nebraska. They're in Wyoming now. And they wake him up with tapping on his window with a gun and shoot him
What the fuck?
just to take his car.
He's just taking a nap, peaceful in his car.
Not bothering anybody.
He's gonna wake up in a few minutes, whatever, 20 minutes or so, drive home.
Or wherever he's going to sell his car insurance.
Gonna go to Cheers, hang out with Frasier.
Yeah. And they just murder him for his car. Poor guy.
That sucks. That
Yeah.
sucks.
So
he tapped him on the glass 1st, woke him up, and then shot him.
yes.
All right. Gonna bring it back up. Would you prefer that somebody shoots you that way, or just shoots you while you're sleeping and you have no idea at all what happened?
I hate this decision. Neither one is great.
Neither are great.
I really think if I had to choose, I wouldn't want to be woke up. I would just rather die in my sleep.
I hear that, and it would be less scary for sure. But at
Less
least if
stressful.
you were, for sure, less stressful. But if at least you were conscious, you'd be able to have some type of self-closure. I guess, be like, all right, well, it's a wrap, and it's kind of,
I don't know.
make personal peace. But you're dead either way,
Yeah,
so
for
it
me, I would
ultimately
just
doesn't
rather
matter.
just die in my sleep and not know.
Yeah, ultimately, I guess it doesn't matter.
Not know that I got taken out by these two sadistic people
Yeah.
that just murdered me for my car.
just not wake
like,
up.
wake me up and I'll give you my car.
Yeah.
You can have my car.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
they didn't want to leave witnesses, I
Yeah.
guess. So he gets in this guy's car And he doesn't know how to work this guy's car.
Is it a stick?
No. I think all cars were sticks back
Oh,
then,
yeah,
right?
probably so, yeah.
So it had a push pedal emergency brake, which I'm not
Okay.
really sure what that is. But
Push
Charles,
pedal emergency brake.
I don't know.
Oh, like, is that like the old, like, pump style brakes?
I don't know.
Okay.
So he doesn't know how to work it. Charles doesn't. He doesn't know how to get it out of brake. So he's trying. He keeps restarting the engine. He's not really sure how to get this car to work. This this motorist is passing
Good
by.
debugging, though. It's always a good, turn it off and turn it back on again.
Right,
That's
that's the
always,
best.
that's my go-to.
With everything.
Yeah.
Just
Turn it
try
off,
turning it off.
turn it back on, and if it's still messing up, do the next thing, whatever that is.
It's so funny that we're talking about that. I tried to make that joke at work and no one found it funny. So someone was talking about this baby and they were like, I don't know, we just can't get this baby to, breastfeed well. And I was like, did you try turning it off and turning it back on again? And I thought it was hilarious. They did not find it funny.
In a nurse setting, that'd be funny, yeah.
I thought it was funny.
I mean, it's not like a groundbreaking, genius joke, but it's like it's a good workplace, get a chuckle out of people joke.
Thought so.
No one even cracked a smile, huh?
No, I was like, fine.
Tough crowd.
Tough crowd. I think she was having a bad night. So.
It was just a one person?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes more sense. I bet you if there was a crowd of people, you would have got you would have got a little roll of laughter.
So this passing motorist sees them and thinks that their car is something's wrong with their car. So he stops and he's like, hey, you need some help?
Yeah.
Well, Charles just starts threatening him and they cause this huge fight and this big altercation. Well, this is a really bad thing for them because who happens to be right there? This Deputy Romer. I showed you him on that I watched this PBS documentary about this case from 1988.
I was
honestly so old school.
A little disappointed what he looked like. In my head, I had visualized a much cooler looking dude.
I thought he was super cool. And to be fair, he was being honest, interviewed way after this crime, so he was a lot younger then. He's probably very rugged and so he's down the street from where this is happening.
I was picturing Andy Griffith, and what I got was his nerdy sidekick guy.
Oh.
I forget his name.
In
the Wonder Years show. Not Wonder Years. That's totally different.
The Andy Griffith show.
Andy Griffith show. Yeah.
I forget that guy's name.
Right.
I forget his name.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
The guy who's always talking like this. Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know his name.
Yeah.
I totally forgot.
I don't remember. But that guy. He looks more like that guy.
He does.
When I was expecting more of Andy Griffith.
Andy Griffith. Yeah.
Anyway.
So Deputy Romer sees these two cars stopped in the road. And when I'm talking about road, I'm using that very loosely. It was a dirt road.
A trail.
An old trail dirt road.
Right.
And he's like, hey, what's happening? These two cars are blocking this whole area. So he goes to investigate thinking okay, maybe there was an accident. I can help. Well, right when he gets up there, Miss Carol Fugate comes running at him and is like, help, it's Starkweather. And he's taking me hostage. And he shot a man. Confessing everything, runs to Romer.
He shot a man.
Yeah, so he's like, okay, so he secures Carol in the car.
Oh wait, so the just to be clear, the murder girl accomplice in this runs to the sheriff going, hey, this guy I'm with this killed somebody, help me.
It's Starkweather. She even says his name.
Okay, rats him out by name.
Yes.
Damn,
So
that's cold. That's cold.
I know. So
at least there. I guess there's no honor among thieves. I was about to stop saying thieves because they're murderers. There might be honor among murderers, but they are also thieves because they stole all the stuff from Monopoly guy's house.
They did. Yeah.
So there's definitely no honor there.
No. So she's running, saying oh, it's him. So he, Romer puts her in the back of his car, and he proceeds to phone in all the troops and saying, hey, I got this guy. He's fleeing here, right? He calls all the people.
The troops. He calls all the people.
He calls all the people. So now Charles is on the run.
It's backup.
I did this last night too.
Yeah,
He calls for backup.
I wasn't sure if you were intentionally trying to recapture the funniness of that. But
that's how I say it, apparently.
Call in the other people.
Call in all the others.
Call in all the others. We need the others.
All of them.
Yes. Others, where are you at? Where's my others?
Right. So they're fleeing. He's fleeing the scene, so everyone's chasing him. He starts going. It says speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour.
Damn, on a dirt
On a dirt
road.
road. In those cars, like, I don't know how the shock absorption was back then.
I think back then they were heavier, so it made it a little less skid prone.
Okay.
I think.
Holy moly, can you imagine that though? 100 miles per hour on this dirt
And
road.
I know they were all rear wheel drive, which
is a good
helps
thing, right? Yeah.
with your stability. Yeah, as long as you had the weight in the back.
Right.
We were just talking about those cars. They
They're heavy.
got some ass weight.
Ugh.
Them slabby. So yeah, but I also believe that once you start sliding, you are dunzos.
You just keep going.
Yeah.
So he takes off. Well,
And I say that with no experience or knowledge whatsoever. I'm just picturing video game physics.
so one of the cops.
Y'all play Mario Kart?
Right.
Bowser, he's
He
harder to
spins
skid
out.
out, but once he does,
It's.
it's dunzo.
It's
It takes
done.
forever to get going again.
Right.
Stop spinning.
I remember because Dry Bowser is my character.
You're Dry Bowser.
so-
Yeah,
Yeah, he's hard.
I liked Link with the bike at first, but I switched it up to Tanuki Mario because I've always liked the fact that you could turn into that cool statue, and you always wear the cute little bear thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's a Tanuki,
Yeah.
which is like a Japanese like little bear animal.
That character is very cute.
Yes.
I love my Dry Bowser though.
I get it.
I don't know why.
He's
I like
cool.
him on his little car because the little car looks so absurd when he's driving it.
Very clownish, yeah.
It's very clownish,
Yeah.
so I love that. So,
Anyways.
they're fleeing. He's fleeing,
Okay,
right? Well, a bullet.
Dry Bowser,
He's Dry Bowser. A bullet flies through his window.
a red shell.
Yes, a red shell. It flies through his window and shatters the window. Right?
Yeah.
He gets cut on the. He gets cut on the. I believe it was his ear. He gets cut somewhere by the
Bullet?
by the glass.
Oh, okay. There's a glass. Okay.
Well, this dude, he thinks he got shot.
Okay,
He
right.
thinks he's bleeding to death. So what does he
Sure.
do? He stops and gets out and surrenders because he thinks he's bleeding to death when he just got cut by some glass.
This guy is not Buck Wild.
He is not even close.
This is
to
no
Buck
Buck Wild.
So, yeah, he super cowardlessly just like surrendered, which I guess, I mean, it's good that he surrendered, but
I get yeah.
so the sheriff that caught him ended up saying, that's the kind of yellow-bellied son of a bitch he is.
Yellow belly son of a bitch.
It
That's a good phrase.
is a good phrase.
Yeah.
They're both in custody now, him and Carol, right?
Okay, so they're locked up in the local jail cells.
Right. In the local jail
In the
cells.
local jail cells.
So, Starkweather at first, Charles, he starts saying that Carol basically had nothing to do with the murders.
Okay, that's noble. I was just saying there's no honor among murderers or thieves, but okay.
Yeah, he's saying, like, no, she's innocent, she had nothing to do with it.
That's
she
nice.
just kind of was along for the ride. And it says that he was holding her hostage.
If that may even be true.
It might be true. Like I said, I'm 50-50, to be honest, on if she was like a part of it or not.
Right.
And I don't even know that she had really anything to do with the murders. I feel like she was like a passive accomplice, though. Like,
Yeah.
she didn't do anything about it.
Kind of along for the ride and
Yeah.
yeah.
I just get this feeling, and this is just my opinion, that she had a little bit to do with some of it.
Probably.
I think so.
There was probably moments where she could have stopped
Right.
something. Not maybe stopped him from doing stuff, but stopped her from being a part of it.
Yeah, something. Like,
Something.
I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like she
It's hard to say.
was a little bit culpable on it. But once he kind of hears that she's basically ratting him out, is basically what she's doing.
Yeah.
She's just ratting
Okay.
him out.
Okay, so
He
so
did
he's
all
all like
this. I'm innocent.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all him.
he was trying to spare her and shit, while at the exact same time she's all like, nope, he did it, he did this, I didn't do nothing.
Yeah. So he finds out about that.
Uh-huh.
Completely flips this.
And he has a a nice controlled ego, so he's gonna take it real well.
Exactly. Ooh, his ego. So once he finds out about this, he completely flips.
Yeah.
And is like, no. She had everything to do with it too.
Mm.
She did this. She's the one that stabbed the other Carol in the private parts because
Jeez.
she felt like she was
That's so
too
messed up.
pretty. So I don't know who to believe here. I don't know if she was involved or if she wasn't. Because in order to think that she was involved like that, you really have to believe Charles.
Hmm.
And he's kind of an asshole.
Not exactly the most trustworthy.
No, exactly.
Right.
So they go to court and they get convicted.
Okay.
Right? Of all of it. So... sorry. Okay, so Charles Starkweather was executed in the electric chair at Nebraska State Penitentiary in...
Executed. That's the word that I was expecting you to say, and you came out with electrocuted.
Electrocuted.
Yeah, but you're right.
I'm technically right.
Yeah, that's what electrocution actually is. People actually use that word wrong all the time. When they say, like, oh, I electrocuted myself. No, you didn't, because that would have killed you.
You shocked yourself.
You shocked yourself, right. Electrocuted means that you've died from electric shock.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was electrocuted...
executed via electrocution.
Yes, executed via electric chair.
Right.
On June 25th, 1959. Miss Carroll got a less amount of time, and she was actually paroled in June of 1976.
So she got out.
She got out after 18 years.
So it was before Cheers, but while Taxi's still going on.
Right. Oh, and get this. You know where she ended up living? You're going to find this funny. I didn't tell you this yesterday.
What?
Michigan.
Oh, no! She could have been a neighbor!
Did you ever live in Lansing?
No.
Okay, that's where she lives.
That's the state capital. That's where MSU is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is where Miss Carol Ann Fugate was paroled to. It's Lansing, Michigan.
Fugate.
And she was working as a janitor in a Lansing hospital.
That name is bothering me, Fugate. I'm going to look it up while you keep talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. Starkweather and Fugate.
So, she ended up... Yeah, she was a janitor in a Lansing hospital, which, I don't know, it's just crazy to me, because think about it, when, like, I wonder if she saw Natural Born Killers and knew that that was, like, based off of them when she got out. When was that movie made? Like, 94?
Natural Born Killers, yeah. Something like 94 or 95.
So I'm, like, thinking,
probably 94.
did she, like, go to watch it? Like,
oh,
was
yeah.
she still alive? Like, I don't know.
I never did
she
that.
Died. Because she, once she was paroled, she changed her name.
I didn't dance in a bar and kill that one guy. Or I have a lot of guys, actually.
Yeah. I just want to know, like, I just kind of wish I could know, like, what her life was like after she was paroled. Like, if people knew, like, did they know that was her? I don't know. So, that's the story of Charles Starkweather and Carol Ann Fugate. There's some other stuff that I found pretty interesting. Did you figure out why you know that name?
I found it.
Why?
And it's not Fugate. It's Funke. It's Tobias from Arrested Development.
Oh.
It's not. It's Funke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which sounds a lot like Fugate.
Okay.
Fugate. Oh, okay.
Now
I got it. Closure.
The case has been solved.
Now we can close the episode.
So there's a lot of this case was in a lot of like
Funke.
things.
Ah, that's what it is. My brain feels better now.
So this case was featured in a lot of films. It was featured in The Sadist, 1963.
Never heard of it.
Badlands, 1973.
Never heard of that one.
True Romance, 1993.
Nope, never heard of it.
Natural Born Killers, 1994.
Good movie.
And a movie called Starkweather that was made in 2004.
Never heard of it.
As well as a made-for-TV movie called Murder in the Heartlands from 93.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Only one I've heard of is Natural Born
Natural Born Killers! Woody
So-
Harrelson. Oh, it's so good. I mean, it's not like the best movie ever, but it's if you want to watch a fucked up crazy movie with like people getting murdered all over the place, if you're into that kind of thing, it's well acted too. Like that's like the acting is strong. Woody
Yeah.
Harrelson, he's such a good actor.
He is. He's a great actor. He did a great job in that movie.
Yeah.
True Detective.
Oh my
Come
god,
on.
so good in
He
that.
did such a good job in
Love
that movie.
him.
So did Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, they both-
He did great.
They're
Rusty.
so good. Yeah.
They're so
Yes.
good. So Bruce.
What up, bros?
Bruce Springsteen actually wrote a song about them titled Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
It was from his solo album in 1982.
Wasn't Born to Be Wild?
No, that would be funny though. And it was from a first-person narrative.
Okay.
Billy Joel also mentions the Starkweathers homicides.
Not the story of Jack and Diane.
No, he mentions it in "We Didn't Start the Fire."
Oh,
We didn't
start the fire, but it was always burning since the world was turning.
Yeah, so
I was singing that on a
you
Times of
were.
Time episode.
So apparently he mentions the murders from this story in that song. I have to go back and look at the lyrics.
10 o'clock, radio's on, TV's out. We didn't start the fire.
And then Starkweather was also featured in a video game where he...
What?
Yeah. He was the final boss and main folk character from the Rockstar game Manhunt.
Oh, shit.
And the boss is actually called Starkweather.
Oh, damn. That's kind of interesting.
Which
this guy's famous.
I have mixed feelings about this.
Yeah,
I feel like
I know.
This guy would really love
And
this.
he would love all that, yeah.
Because he doesn't deserve to be happy. So, I don't know. So I have mixed feelings about
I get
that.
it. There's a lot of potential for fame in murder. Murder.
Oh, now you have to go find that episode of Frasier, please.
But we're not going to tell you which ones. No. You have to watch all of them.
And when you get to it, you'll be like, there it is.
Yep. You'll be like, got it.
So there it is, guys. There's our third episode.
Yeah.
Woo. So,
third time's the charm.
And these people were terrible. I'm still not for sure how I feel about Carol.
So Starkweather got electrocuted, and then Carol Fugate got jailed and then got unjailed, and now is roaming the streets.
I'm sure she's
probably
now.
dead by now.
Oh, I'm sure she's
She got out in the 70s, you said?
76, yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, she's probably very dead now.
Yeah. Or not. You never know.
Well,
some people live a long time. People in Michigan, they live long. Those cold winters, they preserve you.
Is that what it is?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, there you go. All right, guys.
All right, well, thanks for joining us.
Yes,
it was fun.
Thank you so much.
This one was not nearly as gruesome as the first one. That one sucked.
The first one was terrible.
Bonnie and Clyde was fun. It was a little,
Yeah, it was less...
A little pop, everyone's heard of those people.
Yes, but it was interesting nonetheless. We got to hear about Blanche and
That's
Buck.
right. Buck Wild.
And not the Blanche that you're thinking. Not the Blanche from Golden Girls.
Eat trash and die, scum, or whatever.
Yeah, not her.
I almost had it. What is it? Eat trash and die? Eat dirt and die?
Eat dirt and die trash.
Eat dirt and die trash.
Yeah, she said that.
Eat dirt and die.
She
said
that
to
song. Dorothy because she thought Dorothy was
wanna eat dirt and die.
Was gonna get this award that she wanted when in reality she was actually trying to plan her a whole party. Anyways.
Yeah. Jealousy and greed and all got in the way.
Those Golden Girls.
Those girls. All those girls. All right. Well.
Been fun. Ashley and
Don't know how to end these.
Yeah, sorry. Signing out? I don't know.
Are we signing out? I guess so.
Until next time, guys.
See you next time.
Bye.